So the market crashed, or maybe it crashed 2 weeks ago and you're still feeling it. Or maybe you're watching this 2 months later, wondering if it's too late to act. Either way, this is for you. And if you're feeling a little sick to your stomach right now, you're not alone. I checked my accounts this morning. Every number was red. Retirement, brokerage, everything. But instead of panicking, I took a deep breath, sat back, and I'm recording this video. Today, I want to talk to you as a friend who's been here before and what to actually do next. All right, picture this. You wake up, get your coffee, open your phone, and bam, every index is down. NASDAQ, Dow, S&P. Your favorite stocks cut in half. All the websites, the news, they're all on fire. YouTube thumbnails screaming 2008 all over again with those ridiculous shocked faces, fire emojis, everything. You get that flood of fear, second guessing. All of that is real. I felt that this morning. No one is immune to a gut punch. And a lot of people are wondering if they should just pull everything out and basically hide it under the mattress. But here is what I didn't do. I didn't sell, I didn't make any sudden moves, and I definitely didn't try to time the bottom. Instead, I reminded myself of something I learned through every market crash I've survived. People who are building wealth don't wait for perfect. They act with discipline. That's the kind of investor I want to be. I'm not the guy who's always trying to call the top or the bottom. I'm the guy who shows up day after day, rain or shine. In fact, a couple years ago, I read this article called The Bird in the Hand. Jill on Money actually emailed it to her list recently, so shout out to Jill if you follow her too. It was about how real wealth comes from consistency. Not luck, not timing, discipline. And man, that's never felt more true than on days like today. When the market's flying high, it's easy to feel like a genius. Just whip out your phone and be like, hey, look at these returns. I knew that stock would pop. But when things crash, that's when you find out what you actually believe. Do you believe in your plan, your process, or were you just riding the wave? For me, the bird in the hand means I don't know what the market's going to do tomorrow. I don't know if we've hit bottom, but I do know what I can control. I'm still showing up to work. I'm still running my businesses. I'm still putting money aside every single month because I've seen what that discipline can do. And not over weeks or over months, but over years and decades. I was investing during 2008. I was investing during the COVID crash. And I'll be investing through whatever this is too. And looking back, those terrible times, they were actually the best buying opportunities of my life so far. I mean, historically, the few weeks or months after a sharp drop often have been some of the best times to start investing or just keep going. Not because anyone timed it perfectly, but because they stayed in the game. So look, if this is your first market crash, I get it. It feels personal, like maybe you screwed something up or you should have seen it coming. You might be thinking, I should have sold earlier. And trust me, I've had that thought too. I remember my first real crash back in 2008. I kept clicking refresh on my accounts like that would magically improve if I just checked one more time. But spoiler alert, it didn't help. It doesn't help. I mean, I was younger back then. I spent weeks second guessing myself. Maybe I should have listened to that guy who told me to buy gold or this other guy who told me to get in at this other time. But all that second guessing just burned through energy I could have used spotting some opportunities that were emerging right in front of me. There's this really smart guy, Marco, over at Whiteboard Finance. And if you're not following him, you really should be. He's been posting nonstop these past few weeks. I appreciate how he cuts through all the noise in times like this. Let me tell you something I wish somebody would have told me during my first crash. You don't need to time the bottom. You just need to stay in the game. Because every correction, every bear market, every crash, they all feel like the end when you're in the middle of it. But zoom out. They're just chapters in this story. And the only people who lose are the ones that close the book halfway through. And this isn't advice to go out and YOLO into some high-risk plays right now. I can't tell you how many people have been texting me, asking me if they should buy Apple stock or if they just need to run this one big idea by me to see what I think. And I'm not here to say, like, don't buy the dip or buy the dip without understanding your situation. Because if you've got a plan, then keep working the plan. And if you don't have a plan, maybe now's the time to make one. You're allowed to feel freaked out. That's normal. But don't let these short-term emotions destroy your long-term momentum. That's where people go wrong. They make these permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. So, all right, real talk. Here's exactly what I did today. I looked at my accounts and I said, yep, wow, that hurts. And then I went and I told my wife, oh boy, the market is down a ton. People are gonna be so mad. And then we went outside for a walk with my son on his scooter, and he fell down once trying to ride it like a skateboard. We were listening to Morgan Wallen on my Bluetooth speaker, and honestly, it was Friday. I had a cold one in my Yeti, and it was nice. It was still a little cold outside, but it was nice. I guess what I'm saying is no matter when you're watching this, the markets are gonna do what they do, but my job is to stay in the game, to clear my head enough to make rational decisions, to stick to the plan I made when I wasn't emotional. And when I got back from the walk, the numbers were still red. And we've been here before. And I know this isn't the end of the story. You know what's crazy actually? And I wasn't expecting this. I got a call from a friend and I helped her deposit a life insurance check this morning. FedEx dropped it off on her doorstep without a signature, over $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. And she calls me and she's like, we need to figure out who will accept this check. And it was 3 p.m. on a Friday. Just think about that timing. I mean, life happens, right? There's loss, grief, and then an insurance payout. And on the day you go to deposit it, the market crashes over 10%. Terrible timing, terrible luck, right? But here's what we did. We put it in a 5% money market account, safe, stable. And now she's got time to breathe, to grieve, to figure out her next steps without the pressure of making investment decisions during this market chaos. Sometimes the best move is just to pause for a second, give yourself permission to wait and clear your head. But that doesn't mean hiding under the covers either. It means being intentional about when and how you engage with your money. It's like when you're driving and suddenly a heavy fog hits. The smart thing to do isn't necessarily to speed up or to slam on the brakes. It's to slow down and turn on your fog lights and navigate carefully. Financial fog works the exact same way. You don't slam on the brakes, you don't floor it, you just slow down. You turn on your lights and you keep moving forward just more deliberately this time. And that's the key. When she's ready, maybe in a few months, we'll revisit her plan or create a new plan. You know, start putting that money to work in a way that aligns with her new life. But for now, safety first. Emotional well-being first. Look, I'm not here to pretend like I've got all the answers. I don't have a crystal ball, none of us do. I can't tell you if tomorrow will be a lot better or a lot worse. But I've been through a few of these cycles now. And I know this, the people who win are the ones who keep going. The ones who keep investing when the news is terrible. The ones who keep building their thing, even if it feels like the world is falling apart around them. Yeah, these moments test us. They show us what we're made of. And yes, they suck while you're in them. They really do. But they also create opportunities that we'll look back on years from now. So if nobody told you this yet today, let me be the first. You're doing better than you think. And this is just a chapter, not the ending. So yeah, the market crashed and that sucks, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But we're not going to let the red numbers define our future. We've got work to do. And when it comes to building long-term wealth, this is just another step on the staircase. Hopefully the staircase that leads to financial freedom, to options, to the life you're building for yourself and the people you care about. Remember that on days like today. Remember why you started investing in the first place. I'll be back next week with an update on what I'm seeing and doing. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Please leave me a comment if this video spoke to you a little bit. I read every single one and, you know, I need it right now too. But most of all, take care of yourself, all right? Breathe, get outside, take a walk, call a friend. You're not alone in this. Despite how it feels right now, we're still just getting started. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.